So we're the Coastless horror stream.
Yeah, I didn't know what to name it, and I thought the Coastless Horror Stream would be funny. No shade thrown to our members of the group there, but just since I waited till the last minute, I figured I'd see if you want to get on here and talk about current events and what you've seen lately. And I used the thumbnail of Carpenter's Walk of Fame star. Did you see that?
Yeah, I watched that last night. He acted like he could care less about being there.
Yeah, it was pretty typical of him. I thought he doesn't like things like that. So, but very cool, very well deserved, and
Yeah,
overdue.
it
You
was
know,
cool seeing Keith David and Kurt Russell there.
yeah, yeah. And it was
Just
funny that Keith David got up there and said it wasn't me.
yeah, yeah. There's been rumors about them making a sequel, so I don't know. It'd be good to see it, but
Oh, I'd be interested.
yeah,
I don't this far past. I don't see how either of them are in it.
yeah,
Um, unless that somebody shows up and finds their frozen bodies. My, the
yeah,
rescue team. So I mean, that's where not quite, but that's sort of what the comic books do. If you ever read the Dark Horse comics,
mm-mm.
they picked up shortly after the movie. A rescue team shows up because they hadn't heard from them, in so long. I guess it was the people from McMurdo, and um, I've got two of them. I think there was four in the series, but I've only got two, and I haven't read them in a long time. I just remember McCready giving himself a blood test again to make sure he's fine, and him running into Childs. He got separated from Childs somehow, but then run into him. And but then suddenly, from out of nowhere and for no real good reason, people on the rescue team start turning into the thing. So, but just a gory Dark Horse Comics series.
Have you seen the prequel that came out in 2006 or
Oh,
seven?
I thought it was 2011 for some reason,
Or maybe it was. Yeah,
but yeah, I
yeah.
have. What's her name that's in it? Mary
I couldn't tell you.
Elizabeth something.
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth. I
Uh,
can't think of her last name.
so I do like the movie. I've watched it. It's grown on me over time. I was one of those people that just kind of hated it at the beginning and gripe, but I do think it's pretty fun. Uh,
Yeah, other
Practical
than this,
effects
yeah,
would have been better, but
yeah, but it plays perfectly. I mean, you see scenes in that movie that kind of explain why certain things look in the original thing at the
yeah,
Norwegian base. It was well
yeah,
done, I thought.
yeah. Like the axe stuck in the door, and just little things like that. I thought they did a good job paying attention to detail
Yeah,
like that. Um, and then I kind of wonder what happened to her. You're never sure. Maybe I
yeah,
think she was headed to a Russian outpost or something was how it ended. And so
yeah. Maybe they can
I'm
tie
on.
that into the other one. I don't know.
I'm
But
gonna. I was gonna say I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat over here. It says we got 3 people watching, but I don't see anybody in the chat yet.
yeah, I'm on my phone, so I don't see them either.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
So, have you seen any good movies lately?
I was trying to think of newer ones I've seen, so I'm I'm way behind. Of course, I did see The Substance. Did you see
This,
that yet?
yeah, yeah. My
Yeah,
wife and I watched that.
it it certainly had feeling of The Fly. The way she was transforming.
Yeah, very Cronenberg.
Yeah, the like I said, it felt like The Fly, but then it also felt like it felt like the dark kind of humor of like the Creep Show series, or like a Tales from the Dark Side kind of episode, with the two halves of her fighting like that.
Yeah, I didn't care much for the ending. Did you like
The
the ending?
ending, the ending just got kind of dumb. It felt like it was, it become a little too much.
Yeah, yeah. See, my wife and I watched that. She's not much of a horror. Well, she likes vampire movies and stuff, but she's like, "This is stupid." It's like, well,
I forget what Abby and the girls were doing, but I watched that on an evening where they went somewhere. I think they went to see a movie in town. I stayed home and watched that, and I enjoyed it well enough, and then loaned it to actually the same friend that gave me the microphone. Um, so he's got it right now, but he hasn't got around to watching it. So from our conversation earlier, I got to ask, how'd you wash the remote?
oh, it was
Get
wrapped
thrown
up
in
in
with
the
some blankets or something, or
yeah, it was wrapped up in the comforter.
uh, that sucks.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping it'll dry out and it'll be okay. It's
Yeah,
happened
good
before.
luck. I've washed one of my key fobs and it dried out and was okay, but I haven't washed a remote yet.
Yeah, I watched one of my mother-in-law's Roku remotes and it was fine, but this is an Amazon Fire Stick, so it's probably gonna need to be replaced.
Right now, I kind of hate. I've got 4 remotes. Now 3 of them are Sony, but and you can control a lot from like the Sony receiver remote,
Hmm.
but for specific things, you still need the other remotes on hand. And
Yeah,
then my player is a Panasonic though, so it's kind of got to have its own.
yeah, I've got the Roku that requires its own remote. The Sony Blue 4K player requires its own remote, and then there's the sound bar that has its own remote. So yeah, I got 3 remotes.
Um, we watched not all, but most of Tombstone earlier, since Val Kilmer passed this week.
Yeah, that was sad to hear. I think he was what, only 65 or something like that.
I believe it was 65. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that old.
No, me neither. I was kind of surprised because I don't know. I feel like none of the celebrities I grew up with ought to be over 50.
Yeah, at least not 60 anyways. Maybe in their 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he died from pneumonia, I think.
Pneumonia is what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know
Uh,
that he had that throat issue, and I know it impacted his speaking abilities. So maybe it was just another complication.
yeah. It's hard telling. But very talented guy.
Yeah, I remember one of the first things I saw him in was that Top Secret movie.
Top Secret, and I think I might have saw The Real Genius first.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Real Genius or Willow.
Yeah.
That was another one he was in.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
Top Secret. I don't think I'm going to make it out. I, uh, I've got a wedding to go to. Record store days next weekend,
yeah,
and there's only one record I'm interested in. Top Secret soundtrack.
Oh,
So,
I didn't
um,
realize it was out. Is it a score or is it an actual soundtrack?
well, it's both.
Okay.
It's got the songs he sings in it, like Skeet Surfing and Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Yeah.
Uh, and then it's got some of the score, but it's from 1984, who also did, Airplane and Naked Gun. So I just feel like I ought to have it. But now we got a wedding to go to, and we're going to go down and grab Sam from school, and then the wedding is an hour from him because he still doesn't have his car back yet. So we're going to be driving like 5 hours Saturday to run around and um, get him.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, Keith's here.
Yeah.
Keith, I actually right before this just got done watching your new tour of your second movie room.
Oh, yeah. It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's impressive that like that's the one he doesn't go into that often.
Ellen's got a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing anything with Record Store Day. I didn't really see much that was interesting. And you said 1994 was doing that Top Secret. It'll probably be on their website. I mean, Airplane
That's
came back out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. And I think the one that's out for Record Store Day is a white pressing
Hmm.
and like 1,000 units. It said, well, on their website, you could get the Record Store Day airplanes, and then you got that special airsick one that I think only had 100. So
Right.
I'm just gonna. It's either on them. You'll either see it there, or you see it on Rusted Wave Records. So I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for both. Or ask Atmosphere if they have any left over because she knows I wanted it,
Hmm.
and and if they don't, well, when I take Sam back home, probably I might be able to swing in there and see him. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I just ain't gonna go stand in the line at 6 a.m. To try to get the record.
It's a good thing it's not, or it wasn't today, and it's rained all day here.
Yeah, it has the webs the dang it, the online weather website said we were getting like 1/10 of an inch an hour just all day. It's just water standing everywhere. And yeah, I told the guy I work with, I said there best be a shitload of Mayflowers coming. We've certainly had the April showers already.
Yeah, and it's only what, April 4th, 5th?
But yeah, crazy.
Yeah. And I
So
guess I guess I guess today was the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death. I kept seeing posts about him on
I saw,
Instagram.
yeah, I saw a lot pop up on Instagram and Facebook. I was just going through a list of movies here. I think I was on Max the other day, just surfing what to watch. I didn't watch it, but The Heretic was on there. Did you watch that?
Yes, that's the one I did watch. I enjoyed it. It's pretty
I,
good.
wa- yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah, I was watching that new Kevin Bacon series on Amazon Prime, The Bondsman. It's kind of
Okay.
like it kind of reminds me of Grimm, that TV show. Remember?
Yeah.
But he's actually hunting demons instead of, I guess, grim fairy tale creatures. But it's been all right. It's only 8 episodes, and they're really short too, like 30 minutes. So just about through it.
So speaking of him, I don't think you saw him in it, but they put out the teaser trailer for the Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah,
Man, I don't know. It maybe it seemed like the teaser is. You remember the original where the first time I think Toxie. Well, he fought the guys in the alley and saved the
yeah,
cop. but then like the first time the public sees him is when he goes and kills those guys robbing the Taco Bell.
It's been so long
And
since I've seen that movie.
that's the one where he rips the guy's arm off and hits him in the face with it, which I always
Yeah.
love. But the teaser is like a commercial for the taco place, and it seems to kind of capture that, tastelessness of trauma. But then in walks the Toxic Avenger, and he's about 4'2", because it's supposed to be Dinklage playing him.
Okay.
And his mop is like toxic. It's glowing, and he hits one of the bad guys in the face with it and just tears his jaw off. So it's like, okay, maybe it's going to be gory, maybe it's going to be fun, but I still think it's kind of funny to have Dinklage play the Toxic Avenger. I thought I could see him play the guy that turns into him,
Yeah.
But then you'd probably want a Ellen. Did you see? I think I sent you a picture of it. That bubblegum soda I found on
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
She'd like it for her room.
Yeah. So
But
Elijah Wood's in it, right? Is he Toxie before he becomes Toxie?
I don't know. I know Kevin Bacon's the bad guy, I believe, like like some crime boss or something. But it just seems to me like maybe you'd have Dinklage play him, and then he turn into a big Toxic Avenger, not a little one.
Yeah.
And then I read something the other day. I don't know how authoritative it is, that Dinklage ain't even playing the Toxic Avenger; that he's voicing it, and somebody else is playing it.
Somebody else 4'2".
I guess, yeah. So
Weird. Yeah. That'd probably be one that I'll wait till it comes out on streaming. I wasn't
yeah.
really a big fan of the original.
So Trauma put a lot of stuff out, and a lot of it was pretty awful.
Yeah.
But I do special place in my heart for Toxic Avenger and the first class of Nukem High. Love those two movies.
Weren't there 3 Toxic Avenger movies?
There's 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they progressively got worse.
Yeah, I remember the first one. What was that, 85 when it came out?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I remember it was one of those movies that we were getting pretty interesting movies, definitely in the heyday of VHS and rental stores, right?
Yeah.
Dad drove all over Hell's Half Acre to go to work. It at least a couple jobs he drove an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get to work. But he would hit every video store between here and where he worked and bring things home. And he brought home Toxic Avenger. He brought home Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. He brought home Blackula. He just brought home all the weird B movies too, because he was into those as well. And I think it's definitely where I get it. But yeah, that's one that he brought home, and then I think he watched it the one time, and that was it. He was done with it, and I made a
I
copy of it. So
I think we rented it, or maybe it was just one of those that came on Cinemax or HBO or Showtime back in the day. But I remember watching it like I was 8 or 9 years old, maybe.
yeah, well, I remember too. It was around that age too that I started having friends over, like sleepovers and stuff, and we would watch Toxic Avenger. Evil Dead 2 was a big one to always show my friends. It's like, you guys see this movie, guys, where this guy puts a chainsaw on his arm. Nukem High, all those. But then I'd go to friend's house because we didn't have cable here, and I would watch Toxic Avenger or one of those movies with them when it came on like USA, and it was censored all to hell, and it wasn't even worth watching, from my opinion.
Yeah.
Ellen asks two questions. But Keith asked, what the hell is that Reagan bust behind you?
That's an animatronic from Spirit Halloween.
And then Ellen asked, what's your most valued Funko Pop in your collection, Dave?
That's a good question. My most valued? Uh, one of the first ones I ever bought was Jason, I think. Jason or Michael Myers. Uh, I guess one of those. I don't know. I haven't really bought a whole lot, as you see this big wall behind me, but I slowed down
Yeah.
quite a bit.
I'm kind of thinking mine, if I had to pick one, uh, it's probably one that Sam gave me. So right after I'd grab it, but I'd have to knock stuff over to even get to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's They Live, but it's the Chase edition of the Alien. So it's black and white, and his newspaper says "Obey." I've got the color variant too, but I run across that Chase edition somewhere in some toy store. I was on a trip, and Sam was not with me. And I called him because I think they wanted like $45 for it. And I said, and he's all into the Funko, and he goes to the website and sees what they're worth. And I said, is 45 a good price for this thing? And he said, I was trying to keep it for a surprise, but don't buy it. I bought it for you.
Uh,
So,
my
so
favorite recent ones is the Thing ones,
the head. Yeah.
and then the big one there.
Yeah, I've got that one, but I've got the one that's all like purple.
Oh yeah.
The Chase variant, I guess, on it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the spider head though.
Oh, you didn't?
Uh, I should have ordered it, but I didn't find anything I wanted to pair with it to get free shipping.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, I
So
got McCready's here. He's back here somewhere.
yeah, I do have McCready, and wasn't too long ago at one of the used toy stores. I found the Chucky on the cart from part 2 with the knife for the hand.
Yeah.
Found one of those. But
I bought all the Art the Clown ones, but now I've got another one coming out with him, and I think the dead girl or whatever. No, he's fighting Sienna. Is that her name? Or Ciara or whatever her name is. Yeah.
and then Keith asked me what my most valued NECA figure is. That's kind of a toughie.
I'm on
Oof.
chat. Go
The
ahead.
one that so I keep saying, and I love finding things in the wild, versus just like going and getting them on eBay or online.
Mm-hmm.
One that I was most excited to find is the battle damaged Terminator from part 2. Found him at a con, so he's way up there on my list. But then the other is that Night He Came Home Halloween set that Anthony sent me. I'd
Yeah.
wanted that thing. I passed up buying it when you could get it at Suncoast Video back forever ago when it was like $40. And
Yeah.
now I see it at cons for $250, $300 and more. And then Anthony had one and just mailed it to me.
I've got one that I bought on eBay and it was loose, so I don't have the packaging or anything. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
one I have too.
Yeah. No packaging on mine either, but that's a big one for me.
It's right there in the box. It says "Do not stack." The Night He Came Home.
So yeah, probably those two. And then whenever I show a record playing on Instagram, you can see them in the background. But two that I love too is my Bubba Hotep figures.
I don't think I have any of those.
Yeah,
What's your favorite figure in your collection? Is it regardless of NECA or Trick or Treat Studios or
just favorite in general.
yeah? Is it your
Um,
Clint Eastwood?
I really really wanted them to do one of him forever. Uh, so really like that one, but hmm,
I'm torn
that's
between Tarman and my Art the Clown.
I like the Tar Man too,
Yeah,
but I'm thinking it'd probably either be Clint Eastwood as Man with No Name, or um, dang it, maybe even another Terminator figure, my 18-inch Terminator figure.
yeah.
You know,
I
got
do
got
have that. I do have that Mick from Wolf Creek. That's pretty cool. And then I bought a figure of Gary Oldman as Dracula, and then I have that figure of David from Lost Boys. Those are pretty cool.
yeah. My new McCready is really cool.
Yeah,
Excited to get that. Um, and now I wonder too, and I'm not gonna delve into politics in this uh, stream, but I wonder if there'll be some sort of customs fee or tariff to pay when my Nada figure shows up.
very true. If
Yeah.
it wouldn't have, if it was from Russia, maybe you could get by, but I'll leave it at that.
Keith was guessing that, or I think Keith is saying his favorite was my Kandarian dagger,
Yeah.
which I bought that when I was with you at the Scarefest the first time.
Oh yeah, I remember you buying that. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
pretty big one. I mean, it was
I,
full
I
size.
had to yeah, I had to lug that big ass box around. If the knife is 18 inches, that box was 3 feet long for some reason. I don't know. It was it was a
Yeah,
huge box.
because hadn't didn't Abby drop you off and she went like craft books shopping, so
She
you had to
went
carry it around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she went somewhere with that was the trip John was on, right?
yeah,
I think she went out to find craft stores with Janae.
mhm, yeah. I remember that.
I've got coming uh, Ash's chainsaw from Syndicate Collectibles.
Oh
I
yeah,
ordered
cool.
I ordered it from I think a Mock Time Toys.
Is it
Uh,
just a chainsaw, or does it include movies with it too? Or
it's just a chainsaw and
okay,
just
because I know
just a
I know there
replica.
was yeah there was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. And I think Keith may have gotten it, maybe, but it had like the
Uh,
movies.
I know Ben did, didn't
uh, maybe it was Ben.
he? Yeah.
I don't know. I've got coming from Big Bad Toy Store the American Werewolf figures from NECA of David and
Yeah, Jack.
Jack. Yeah,
I've got those on order from Entertainment Earth, and
nice.
every month they've been sending me a email telling me it's just further delayed.
I got my
But
shipping notification yesterday, so hopefully you'll get it soon.
well, uh, Sewer Lair Toys, north of me that I go to on occasion, they've got them on the shelf, and they have for a couple months. And but I don't want to cancel my order because I ordered it with those thing pops and got over the limit to get free shipping. So if I cancel that part of the order, they're going to hit me with a $25 shipping fee.
I you mentioned the Mucktown toys. I ordered that Rob Zombie Halloween figure that came out of Michael Myers, and I still haven't got it. And I've been seeing people post it, on the internet. So I'm just wondering what's going on. And they're hard
Uh,
to get a hold of.
Here's a question from Keith. Um, has there been a time where we've met a celebrity that we loved, but wish we didn't after? I guess just a bad experience with a celebrity. Have you had one?
I have not had any bad ones.
Yeah, I've heard people have different horror stories. The only one that I wouldn't even call it a bad experience. When we met Michael Bean, he was just exhausted because he'd went to the premiere the night before for that little Grindhouse movie he made called The Victim,
Mm-hmm.
and like caught a red eye flight out, and he was ready to fall over at his table. He wasn't
Yeah.
too interactive, but then I did meet him again several years later and just stood and talked to him for like 20 minutes because there wasn't anybody in line, and talked about Terminator and Aliens and Tombstone and all that. Uh,
Yeah. Like
there
you,
was
I wouldn't call it a bad experience, but when I went to meet Dick Warlock, I asked him to make it out to David, and he said, "I don't do names." I was like, "Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
whatever."
I remember you saying that because mine didn't have my name on it either. Uh,
But it was, I mean,
let's see.
he wasn't a dick when I was talking to him.
So, one con in particular, there was three people there that people at the con were talking about not enjoying. I didn't get in any of their lines, but one was Gary Busey. It was funny. Some of the people complaining were like, "It's like he doesn't even know you're there," and I was like, "I can believe that because I'm not sure Gary knows where he's at."
Yeah.
And then second was people said Linda Blair was kind of awful
Really.
to deal with.
Hmm.
And then I can kind of get it too from her viewpoint, maybe. But Tracy Lords was there, and I guess if you even mentioned her adult career, she wanted you away from her table.
So Keith or Ellen asks, of everyone that we've met, who's been our favorite?
Uh, Angus Scrim was. It hit when I met him. I thought it was really cool. He wanted to know, I think, even more about me than I, was asking about him.
Mm-hmm.
He was just really, really warm and friendly. Um, the whole Phantasm cast was actually pretty awesome. Um, favorite though, I mean, I'd put him way up there. Uh, I'd put Roddy Piper way up there. Uh, the interaction with him was really good.
I haven't met a whole lot of celebrities. I mean, that I paid for their autograph for, anyways. But the guy that played Tarman, Alan Troutman, was really nice.
Yeah,
And then when I met PJ Souls, she was really cool too, from Halloween and Carrie.
yeah. They've all been pretty cool. Different little experience with each of them. But favorites. I'd go Roddy Piper and Angus Grimm probably.
I think my favorite was probably Nick Castle. I sat down and talked to him for like 10 minutes, and I was just teasing him about, where are the Kentucky boys? Because
Yeah.
Carpenter and um the other guy did the voice of the it's time to trick or treat. What's his name?
Oh,
Yeah,
Tommy Wall,
yes,
uh,
Tommy Wallace. They're
Tommy
both
Lee
from
Wallace. Yeah,
Yeah, they're both from Kentucky, and I'm just like, where are the where are the local boys? He said, I don't know. Yeah, it was just, we talked for, it felt like 10 minutes. It was probably like 5 minutes, but he was pretty cool, and asked him about his cat, Michael Meowers, and all that stuff.
let's see. He asks if we've ever went to popular locations in our favorite movies. No, not really.
I haven't.
Uh, I haven't done anything quite like that. I'd like to get to some places. Ben has some cool videos of going to the mortuary from Phantasm.
Didn't he
The
also
light.
go to the fog
I was going to say
area?
the lighthouse from the fog in that area.
Yeah.
So again, I say I get the movie stuff or obsession with movies anyway. I think from my dad, and him and mom went on a trip one time. I was, I don't know, I was 20, 21, and I was at work, and they were gone on like this 3-week trip out to California, and they went all over the place, like south to the Grand Canyon and up to the Redwoods and over to Yosemite and Yellowstone. It was like a 3-week trip, and Dad calls and he says, "You're never going to believe where I'm at." And I said, "Where?" And he says, "I'm in Tucumcari." And I said, Where the hell is Tucumcari? What is that?" And he said, and for a few dollars more, that's where Lee Van Cleef pulls the chain and stops the train. Here, talk to your mom. And he hands the phone over, and mom just goes, "Your father's an idiot." And but on that trip, yeah, he went through Tucumcari and he thought that was neat. He pulled over like at the Sir Francis Drake Boulevard outside San Francisco and took a picture of this overpass because that's where Dirty Harry stood and dove onto the bus. And then that Sir Francis Drake Boulevard takes you out to the Fog Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
So he went out there and they, where is it? I think it's hanging up in the closet. I've got a tote bag from the lighthouse. It's the Point Reyes Lighthouse. Um, and he found that, where the camera creeps up and you see that coastline, a little at the beginning of the movie, he found just about that spot and took me a picture of the beach.
Yeah. I
So,
can't think of too many places close by that are movie famous or worthy.
yeah, I mean, I went to Hollywood one time and we parked next to the Capitol Records building. You see that in several movies.
Yeah. I mean, even though Return of the Living Dead was supposedly shot in Louisville, it definitely wasn't shot in Louisville
Yeah.
because I've been
Now
to Louisville multiple times.
we went to a con in Louisville, and that's where we met Tom Matthews. Um, Tarman canceled out, but they did a Return of the Living Dead reunion in Louisville.
Cool.
That was
I
pretty
haven't.
cool. That's the con where we met Elvira.
Oh yeah, I haven't met Tom Matthews, but I've talked to Linnea Quigley.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I was in the green room with her and Bruce Campbell, and they were just well, Bruce wouldn't stop talking. He likes to hear himself talk. But I was
Yeah.
at the same table with Linnea. She was eating her dinner, and I didn't bother or anything. But yeah, she was in there.
Yeah, we met him. Tarman canceled. Um, then I'm trying to think of who else we met that one. Met him, met Elvira.
Was the
I think
black
we
guy
got
there?
the what?
Was the black guy there from
Oh,
Friday the 13th 5 or not
I
5?
I I think he was there. There was 5 or 6 of them there at that con,
Yeah.
and I really hated it too because they only did that con like 2 or 3 years. It was near Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville. It was like right
Mm-hmm.
across the street from it almost.
At the Yum Center, probably, maybe.
No, this was at a hotel.
Okay.
Like the Yum Center was down the street, but this was in one of the bigger conference room hotels. But
Yeah.
they only did it was Days of the Dead. They only did 2 or 3 years. And I think just attendance was so low. They should just quit doing that town. But that was the con that I said it goes down as my favorite con of all time. That's the one where I did VIP and I met the Phantasm guys.
Uh,
Attendance was so low. That's where I just stood and talked to Michael Bean forever. I stood and talked to CJ Graham forever. And CJ is a favorite celeb of ours. Jason
What
Friday the 13th 6.
was Klug Luger there?
No,
Okay.
he wasn't. I would have wanted to get his autograph if he had been.
He was at one of the cons here in Lexington and Scarefest, and I didn't actually talk to him at his table, but I was at the time a smoker, and he was
Yeah,
outside, and so I talked to him then for a few minutes. But yeah, he was really up there in age though. I mean, he was probably like in his early 80s, maybe. It was like
they
getting
did.
around in a wheelchair.
There was a. Sorry, I'm gonna get a book out of the closet. Uh, there was a con in Chicago. I think it was the Days of the Dead, and I think he was there, and they also had James Karen there,
Oh yeah, he would be
which
nice to meet.
I would have loved to have met him. Ellen was asking about
Autographs.
autographs, so I grabbed my binder. I've got a few hanging up, so like hanging on the wall over there, I've got John Amplis, who played the Father's Day Zombie and Creep Show. His is still hanging up. Alan Tudyk and uh, Tyler Labine from Tucker and Dale are over there. Tom Matthews is up there. Roddy Piper is over my desk. My Godzilla autographs are still hanging up, and the Phantasm crew.
I've got James Jude Courtney's.
There you go. Sorry for the glare. There's Brad Dourif on our Chucky picture.
I got Alan Troutman from Tarman.
C. Thomas Howell, picture from The Hitcher. I got several.
Nick Castle.
There's a picture of us with William Shatner, his autographs in the living room. There's my Nick Castle.
There's mine.
There we are with Eugene Clark. Sorry for the glare, but Big Daddy from The End of the Dead. There's Bruce Campbell. I have 2 or 3 autographs like this. So I did not meet her, but there's Rose McGowan. Sam got me that autograph when he went to the Comic-Con.
I got William Shatner's autograph. I didn't get it. I won this mask from the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. I did a trivia and I won the trivia.
Now this was a big one for me. I did this at Scarefest. I think the year you didn't go. But it's Tony Alexander and Jarlath Conroy from Day of the Dead. You know.
Yep.
I was really happy to meet the 2 of them. Day of the Dead's one of my favorites. There I am with Clint Howard. Drunk with Clint Howard. That was interesting. I said I never knew getting drunk with Clint Howard was a life goal till it happened.
The Ice Cream Man.
There's Dick Warlock. Dave got me that one, which I've still got that sticky note on the back, Dave.
Your dick pic?
Yeah, it says enjoy your dick pic. This is the other autograph that Sam picked up for me. It's Brent Spiner, Data.
Yep.
He got me that one. There's Ernie Hudson.
I got PJ Soul to sign this one. She wrote plug it up. And then she signed this one too of her with Michael and the phone cord.
So a viewer sent me this, but it's Mike Christopher was the Harry Krishna zombie in Dawn of the Dead. and it's got a certificate of authenticity and everything with it. Oh, this was cool. Judith O'Day from Night of the Living Dead. I got to meet her at a con.
This is from
But
the actor who was in Wishmaster, and the female actress and the actual Wishmaster. My wife was their handler at the con, so they wrote this up for
yeah,
my wife.
I
I
remember that.
can't remember their names.
I Andrew Divoff was his name,
Divoff, yes, but the
and
female,
I can't remember her name.
yeah, Andrea.
Uh,
No, Andrew. That's Andrew.
Joe
What's her?
Pantoliano signed a
Uh,
Goonies picture.
I would have got him for the Goonies or the Matrix.
Yeah. Oh, there's my Michael Bean photo from Grindhouse. He also signed the Grindhouse Blu-ray for me. Didn't get his autograph, but we got a photo with Ron Perlman.
For Hellboy.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
this was really awesome to meet him. We met Malcolm McDowell,
Oh yeah, I have his
and
autograph as well.
it was either going to be Clockwork Orange or Star Trek.
I've got a poster that was like someone's drawing of Michael Myers, and I got most of the Rob Zombie cast that's on it. Malcolm McDowell, Scout, Taylor Thompson, the kid that played the young Michael Myers,
Mm-hmm.
and the actor that played Michael Myers as the adult, Tyler Maine. They all signed it.
So I can't come close to pronouncing his name right. Like Tasso Strass something. He's the soldier in Day of the Dead that gets his head tore off. He was like part of the special effects crew too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I didn't get her autograph, but there's our photo with Elvira.
Oh, I love to meet her.
Yeah, and like I said, a few more hanging up. Some hanging in Sam's room and some hanging back there. I've got a couple of thing posters with some signatures.
I ha-
Um,
I have Cassandra
Sam has got
Peterson's. I have Cassandra Peterson's book that she autographed, but it's not like made out to David. It just says Cassandra Peterson.
right. Um, Sam has one of the cons James Hong was at, and we got a photo op with him as Lopan.
Oh, from Big
Uh,
Trouble.
but from Big Trouble, it's hanging in Sam's room though, and he had a mini poster of Big Trouble, and Hong and two of the Storm signed it. Rain and Lightning. The guy that played Thunder wasn't there.
So Ellen says the only one that they have is from John Hurt. That's
That
cool.
that's a cool one to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see someone his level doing a lot of the shows I go to. And I haven't been to one other than Scarefest. I think since the last Scarefest I went to.
Yeah, that's the last one I went to. I bought tickets to go to what's it called? Horror or Monster, the
Horror
one in
Hound.
since Horror Hound, and I
Yeah,
never redeemed it.
same here. And part of the reason was I wasn't too excited to redeem it. We went to Horror Hound a few times. It is just too much. It's too busy, too crowded. I think they try to jam too many people in. I think they oversell the venue,
Yeah.
and it almost gets to the point where it's not that much fun. But over there we met some good ones. Again, autographs I don't have in there, but we met Robert Patrick. He signed a T2 VHS set that I have. Then Meatloaf, he signed a record that's on the record shelf down there. John Carpenter. he signed my Thing poster and Sam's Fog poster. Yeah, we Norman Reedus. That's where we met Brad Dourif. We met Michael Rooker there. Yeah, I'd have to go through. I thought about doing a video showing all of the autographs we've gotten. So need to do that sometime.
Yeah, I stood in line to get Derek Mears' autograph. He played Jason in the Friday the 13th remake, and he was, I don't know if he was doing a photo shoot or what, but he never came to his table. I was hoping to meet him, and then there were several cast members from Fright Night that I was looking forward to meeting too, but they were also away from their table. So
Yeah,
like, wow.
we but when we met Norman Reedus, we were in his line almost 4 hours. The only reason I stayed was because Sam really wanted his autograph, and Sam was like 11 at the time.
Yeah,
And it was like season 3 as well. You know, Walking Dead was just getting going.
yeah, he was kind of big
And
in season 3.
he was getting pretty big. He had the longest line at that con. He was there, and Carl and Lori, and uh,
Was
there
Andrew
was
Lincoln
half
there?
dozen. He was not, but
Okay, Shane.
several of them were. Shane was there, I think, and I think Herschel was there too.
Hmm. He played the
But
governor in Young Guns. Yeah.
the only one we got was Reedus, though, and John Carpenter. We only got like 3 autographs at that one.
Carpenter's somebody I would like to meet, but I feel like that would probably be the answer to Ella and Keith's first question. Somebody who you didn't want to meet after you met him. He just seems like he's kind of a prick.
When we met him, he was. I mean, he was nice.
Okay.
They didn't allow photos at the table with him, but they did let you take pictures of getting your autograph.
Yeah.
So it's at least documented.
Yeah.
And I talked to a guy in line, and I took pictures of him getting his, and he took pictures of me getting mine.
Yeah.
And I complained that things were just really out of whack in the world because we waited 4 hours for Norman Reedus, and Carpenter. I wasn't in his line even 15 minutes.
I was surprised. I walked right up to Nick Castle. I mean, literally, there was nobody in front of me. I mean, I got to the con as soon as it opened, and it was a Saturday, but I walked right up to him. I had to wait 5 minutes for Dick Warlock, maybe. But yeah, Castle was
We
just sitting there by himself.
we waited about a half hour for Castle, but at that same con, like we walked right up to Tom Atkins because his line had kind of cleared out. And I think we waited 5 minutes for Adrienne Barbeau, and then there was no one behind us, and we stood and talked to her for a long time.
Nice. Did you ever
Uh,
meet Robert England?
no, we were at a con with him. I think it was the one James Hong was at, and it was like at least a 2 hour wait, and we just never got him. I did get. I've got 2 Jasons. I've got CJ and Kane,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got Nick Castle. So I've got 2 of the big 3. I got Chucky. Keith says they tore down the Halloween 3 factory, but you can buy bricks from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a couple of. I've got. There's a store in the Monroeville Mall, right? That sells zombie stuff, and they were at Cincinnati, and I bought. I've got a piece of the escalator from Dawn of the Dead, like a piece of the handrail, and
Is there
then
a COA with it?
I've got their word, I guess. and then I also have a piece of the exterior set cabin from Evil Dead 2 from them.
I was getting ready to say there was also, I think, some pieces of the cabin from Evil Dead being sold, but
Yeah,
I doubt you'd get any kind of COA with that either.
not really, other than they swear to God it's real.
Yeah.
Now they even went as far as to tell me where that piece of wood was from.
Wow.
Uh, but there was one guy who he had the Flyboy NECA figure, which is kind of expensive now, but I'm lucky enough I found one. He had one of them autographed by David Emge, and he had two pieces of the elevator doors that the other place was selling, so you could have Flyboy standing there with the real elevator doors. Uh, it was like $200 for the whole set. Although that was kind of funny, but
Well, Keith is saying that you do get a COA with the bricks from
with
the
the brick,
factory. So,
Halloween 3 is a biggie in my book. I've got
yeah,
the
I've
I've,
got the Shamrock restricted area hanging back there.
it's behind the well, I can move the camera a little bit and you can see there's a tote bag hanging on the door that says final processing test subject. Mark sent me that. And behind the camera, I've got the Tom Atkins Halloween 3 NECA figure. That
Final
came with a
product.
Tom Atkins autograph too.
Oh yeah, this is a 10.
I like it. Now, he asked about favorites, going back to autographs. Favorite autograph or favorite autograph set might be, I gotta say, my Dawn of the Dead DVD. But one that Abby moved it, so it's right here by my computer screen. But I've got Haru Nakajima, if I'm saying that right, but the original Godzilla.
Oh,
I got to meet him, and he didn't speak English, and there was no interpreter there with him. And he'd sign your picture, and he just kind of bowed to you. And I mean, like how do you mime? Thank you, sir. You made my entire childhood.
just bow back.
But that was really cool to meet him. And then, so he signed a Godzilla versus Smog Monster poster for me, which is my favorite. At another show, I got to meet the Smog Monster, who's a guy named Ken Satsuma, and he was all excited to see that Haru had signed the poster too, and he signed it. But then he's the guy who went on and played Godzilla from like 1984 through 1998. Played him several times, so he signed a Godzilla 1985 picture for me too. Now he had his granddaughter there, and she was interpreting. But then I met two other Godzilla guys, and neither one of them spoke English, and there was no
Yeah.
interpreter there with them. But they were nice and energetic and lively, and got pictures with you.
Is there
So
anybody on your wish list that you would still love to meet that you haven't?
I'd still like to get Peter Weller, and because he was going to be at a show that we went to, but he canceled. Um, so yeah, I'd love to get Peter Weller, and then one that I will never get that's like on my wish list just because he doesn't do them is Kurt Russell.
Oh
It'll
yeah.
never happen though. But
Yeah, my wish list would be Anthony Hopkins, but he never does those kind of things. Anthony Hopkins or even Ted Levine. I would love to get Buffalo Bill's autograph.
yeah,
Jodie Foster.
um, So he was gone long before I ever went to the con scene, but uh, Donald Pleasance would have been a dream too.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I saw Sean Clark has a Donald Pleasance autograph in his collection that somebody gave him.
Yeah, he didn't get it firsthand.
Yeah, but still cool to have. So
Yeah, was it an actual autograph or had he signed like a
uh,
script or something like that? I can't remember.
no, I think he showed it was just like a piece of paper. You just going dark, or did I lose you? Oh, yeah, I lost him. Bring him back.
Sorry, I was trying to respond to Keith's question about being freaked out.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I was
What?
responding to Keith's question about is anyone else freaked out about that son falling behind David? I said,
Oh,
yeah, it freaked me out too. But then instead of closing the chat, I closed the stream. So sorry.
oh, yeah. The cons had a real good time at them. I do feel like I was complaining to a friend the other day. Hey Patrick, um, he went to a con in Milwaukee, and showed me what he got, showed me his autographs, his pictures with him. Then we were talking about what it costs. And I went to the con starting in like 2012 and went to one or two a year, maybe three a year at the most. But I feel like they've just about priced me out of wanting to go. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just an autograph for not really the big name actors. I mean, they're charging 50, $60. It's just like,
yeah,
really?
well, the admission to get in, how busy they are,
Parking.
parking. But then now too, you walk around the vendor room, and you know maybe I've found everything I've wanted, but most of it's just crap anymore.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
it's the same stuff you see every year.
yeah,
Yeah.
and two, not to disparage people making crafts, but the explosion in crocheted figures and stuff, and how much they cost. I mean, I know
Yeah.
your time's worth something, but it ain't worth that damn much. Uh,
Yeah.
I did buy a little crocheted Audrey too that I think is cute. I bought Abby a little crocheted Beetlejuice, but it seemed like crochet was taking over several of
Yeah.
the tables.
That's kind of the stick of that made by robots company. I mean, they're plastic, but they look crocheted.
Yeah, I saw. Where was I? I was at McKay's on vacation. Stopped at the one in Knoxville, and they had a handmade by robots Godzilla that was like kind of clear looking. It was interesting. Joann's is closing. Yeah. Patrick says a lot of fabric stores are going belly up. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good night, Keith. Get some sleep.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping in. Oh, I don't know how late I'll stay up, but I was silly enough to drink a cup of coffee at like 7:30, so messed myself all up.
Have you talked to Mark any?
Texts. He sends me a lot of Instagram reels.
Are they getting settled in their new digs?
They are. He's talking about maybe going and buying a different TV, something bigger. But no, they're enjoying themselves. So
Good.
doing well.
Got out just in time.
Yeah.
I talked to Phil. He's doing all right. He did recently lose his mother, so he's still grieving over
Yeah,
that. But he seems to be in good spirits.
good. I haven't heard from John in a bit. Well,
Yeah,
last time I would have heard from John, you would have, because it would have been in the chat.
yeah. I saw him make a post about hanging out with an old lifelong friend. That's the last thing I saw of John. And I haven't heard much from Ben other than just chatting through Instagram Messenger. We talk music every once in a while.
Yeah, I sent him I sent him, I think I sent it to you, where it was a reel that said, brushing my kids' teeth, what it was versus, or what I thought it would be. And it was some little cute kid getting his teeth brushed, and then what it really is. And it was King Kong shoving the tree in Godzilla's mouth.
Yeah,
I sent him that, and he replied and just told him I hoped he was doing well.
yeah.
I knew he's busy as hell working, and I feel like that's all I've been doing too. I've been doing like 48 and 50-hour weeks for a while, it seems.
I'll hopefully be there soon. I miss
Yeah, and
working.
I know Ben gets on there with Patrick and Mary a little bit, right?
Yeah, yep. The IFC Midnight cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people though that we used to, chit chat with that I don't see making content a lot anymore.
Yeah. Well, I did watch Keith's last stream, and he talked about us, and he kind of summed it up perfect. He said, the guys met each other and got together during COVID.
Yeah,
Uh, and then we streamed a lot during COVID. And then as things opened back up, we got back into, our regular routine, and just, where the hell do you find the time, right?
yeah, yeah.
In fact, that the main reason I've thought about streaming tonight was Abby's got a cold. I figured she was going to go to bed early. So I said that'd be a good chance to holler at Dave and see what he's doing.
Yeah, not a whole lot. I was just again watching that Kevin Bacon series on Amazon Prime, and other than that, not a whole lot going on.
I wanted to maybe get to swing by you on spring break, but we went down and back through Nashville again instead
Oh
of
yeah.
swinging
So
over your way.
so you went to Bluegrass Parkway.
Uh, got Pennyrile, right? I guess.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, my wife just got back from Nashville today. She took Jordan down there to tour a campus. He's gonna he's gonna go into diesel mechanics. So
Yeah.
he went down there and checked it out. Jordan is the kid that's moved in with us, one
Mm-hmm.
of our students. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a
Sam.
daughter graduating this May from college with her physical therapy degree, and
Cool.
the other one just started a new job as uh, a front office assistant at a dental office. So she's excited about that.
Cool. Mine are graduating high school in May, and be starting college in the fall.
Same college.
Yep.
Cool.
But probably not going to room together. One is wanting to room with a friend, and I said, "You sure about that?" I said, "You kind of putting all the risk on your sister that way, that she ends up with a shitty roommate."
Yeah.
But um, but she said she's willing to try, so we'll see how it goes. And then Sam, ideally, Sam ought to have had like a year left, but I think he's going to end up going an extra semester. But but by going that extra semester, he's going to end up with a double major and a minor, though.
Okay.
But he does have to go that extra semester to take like one class to finish out his regular major. So
You mentioned that they hasn't got his car back. What are they still doing to it?
well, the car is fixed.
Okay.
Uh, but I'm trying to get the salvage title, since they totaled it, changed to a rebuilt title so you can put it back on the road.
Okay.
And
Yeah, 'cause I remember you sending me pictures that it was all painted up and looked nice.
yeah, it's done, and it's just been sitting waiting for him. So they totaled it because the damage was 70% or more of the car's value, uh, which they lowball you on that fucking value too. Let me tell you. But I guess Indiana and they said Indiana and 4 other states have that law. And the only thing I can come up with is some association of auto dealers lobbied and pushed that law through to make you go buy a new car. Because it's been 4 months, well, not a full 4 months, but 3.5 months since he hit the deer. And the car's been fixed, but we still don't have it back on the road.
So,
And
so, so have they given you any kind of window as to when you can expect that rebuilt
not
title?
not really. I mailed it. I mailed it certified mail, so I knew when it got there. They don't do it at the branch. You have to mail it in Indianapolis to the main DMV office and just fucking wait on them.
Mm,
Just irritating as hell. And
yeah.
and no feedback. My big fear is if there's an error, they just send the whole package back to you.
Hmm.
So then you lose even more time.
So is Sam driving anything at the moment, or is he just?
No, I offered him. So I've got one truck out at the barn right now that is licensed and insured, but it's a 2000 model, so it's really cheap.
Mhm.
It's actually the one that he's rated on, so that he's affordable. Um, it needs a set of tires and it needs a battery before it's ready for the road. But other than that, it is a good truck. I offered to send that down to school with him, and he said, "No, I'll just bum rides off my friends." And so he's got a buddy that takes him to Costco, and he goes out with the rest of them if they go to eat. And he's just been going with no car. But then at the same time, he says this semester has been so busy, he hasn't had time to go anywhere. if he had a car,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's taken 5 classes in his major right now, so they're keeping him hopping.
Yeah. Yeah. Kirsten's down to her last few classes, and as she graduates in May, and she's been really busy with homework every night, just about.
Yeah, he gets through, and uh, I'm hoping. I don't know, at this rate, that, like I said, they've had the title stuff for a week and a half now, and it hasn't been touched. I'm uh, I'm just hoping he can have his car back for the summer because he's only got like 5 weeks of school left.
Yeah.
So when the insurance company sent them the title, to have it made into a salvage title after being totaled, the DMV had it for a month before they rejected it because they found an error. But then when it was resubmitted, they approved it within a week. So I
Okay.
guess it's just a complete crapshoot. I don't know.
Is
Either
that in
way, I'm
Indianapolis? Is that where it goes, or is it
in
local?
Indianapolis. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off, that you can't just walk into a branch and go through it with them and see if there is an issue. I called them 3 times and walked through the paperwork to make sure every I was dotted and T was crossed. So I
Because you're
hope
what?
nothing goes
You're
wrong.
what? 2-3 hours from Indianapolis?
About an hour and a half,
Okay.
maybe an hour and 45 if I want to get to downtown.
Yeah. That's about how far away it is for me to Cincinnati or Louisville, depending on which way I go. So did you all end up going back down to that cabin? Oh, that was in Gatlinburg. You said you went to Nashville. What did you do in Nashville?
Well, we
On
just passed through Nashville. We did go
Oh,
to Gatlinburg, but
okay.
we went that route.
Wasn't it
We
longer that way?
It is a little longer, but there's another McKay's there,
Oh,
and there's a cheesecake factory on the way.
the
Uh,
Cheesecake Factory in Lexington.
yeah, but it was funny though. We said, well, we want to go this way, um, to stop by the McKay's, and we got within an hour of the McKay's, and I put it into Google to get us there, and then found out that McKay's was closed all week for remodeling.
Oh, bummer.
And then on the way home, going home that way lets us come up through Evansville and see Sam.
Okay.
Uh, a little quicker, I think, than coming from your direction. So,
Yeah. I think when I drove up there, it was like was it 6 hour drive from me to Evansville? It seems like it was about 6 hours.
uh, was it that long? I was
Uh,
thinking, I was thinking it was like three, wasn't it?
Maybe it was 6 hours both ways.
Round trip. How far is it for you from Louisville?
uh, I think from Louisville to Evansville, it was maybe it was maybe it's only an hour and a half. I don't know. How long does it take you to get to Louisville from Evansville? About an hour and a half?
Hmm. I was going to say about an hour and a half, I think.
Okay. So maybe it was 3 hours. Maybe it was 6 hours round trip. It was round trip because I think I met you like that afternoon around 2 o'clock maybe, and then I left around I don't know 4 or 5, and they got home. Yeah, yeah, it was 6 hours a round trip.
Yeah, that was a fun day too. They
Yep,
So the toy store is still there. Did we go to the toy store when you were there? Was it open yet?
we went to two different toy stores.
Okay. Um,
There, there was one that was it had like He-Man and Skeletor painted on the side of the
yeah,
building or something like
yeah.
that. That
He's
was the
still
first one we
there.
went to, and then we went to another one that was um it was kind of weird. You like walked into it, and then there was like a room that kind of went off by itself that had like a bunch of DVDs and stuff, and then
Yeah,
to the right there was like comic books and stuff in another
yeah.
room. Yeah,
That was the book broker.
yeah.
Um, the one with the He-Man stuff, he's still there. But I'll just say prices have gone up.
Was that a new store? 'Cause I think he's had mentioned that it was fairly new.
It was pretty new at the time,
Yeah,
but still there, and there's a lot of neat stuff in there. But man, you pay for it. So it's actually been a while since I bought anything in there. I just kind of walk around, look around, and then of course, Book Broker's still there. I was just going to say the FYE store closed down.
I don't remember the FYE store, but we did we go
So
to
we
FYE? Yeah, we
we
did.
met. Yeah, we met at the used movie place.
Yeah,
The FYE was like two doors down from it.
yeah.
Uh,
And then
it's
and then we had was it Buffalo Wild Wings or
Yeah, B Dubs was right there.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The FYE closed.
Yeah,
So
I remember now we went into one of those because I think at the time there was some new Funko Pops that had just come out, I think. that I was looking for. I can't remember what they were, but they had some of them there. Is that is that DVD store still open
Yeah.
that we met at? Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Disc replay
yeah, disc replay. And
or
then we went
mega
to
disc replay.
Barnes and Noble. I
Yeah.
think we're looking for some
Yeah.
records.
Barnes Noble's still there. Yeah. We were talking about we briefly mentioned the tariffs earlier, Patrick. I said I
Sure.
was trying to refrain from being political. I wondered if my Roddy Piper figure that's being shipped straight from China was going to have customs due when I get it.
I told him he should have ordered it from Russia. Yeah, I hear it's a good weekend to go golfing though.
What?
I hear it's a good weekend to go golfing.
That's what some people say, I guess.
As far as movies go, Heretic was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. I watched one a couple of nights ago called Companion. It was basically like Megan, where this guy's got a robot, but this robot doesn't know she's a robot, and so things happen. It was all right. It's got Dennis Quaid's son in it, and then I watched
So,
one called Heart Eyes that was so.
oh
Um,
yeah, me and Autumn went to see Hard Eyes in the theater.
yeah,
Yeah, it was fun enough. I mean, it was okay.
yeah,
It was just kind of forgettable, I
yeah.
guess is the best way to describe it.
I mean, there weren't a lot of good kills in it.
Yeah, yeah, they were all kind of, like I said, just so.
Yeah,
That's what I said about. I was talking to my dad because I haven't got him a copy to see the new Indiana Jones, and I took my mom to go see it though. And I told Dad, I said it's good, but it was just forgettable. I think is the best way to describe it.
yeah. I went and rewatched that one not too long ago. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I think the Crystal Skull is better than that one. That's probably one everyone's least favorite, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I would rank it that way. I'd put Crystal Skull above that one,
Yeah,
um, for
I
sure.
mean, why didn't they just bring Shia LaBeouf back as his son and just have another adventure?
Don't know. I was, and rather than a time travel one, I mean, I always, for a long time, even before Crystal Skull, I was really hoping that, the Nazis were big on submarines, right? Uh, they should have found the city of Atlantis. I always thought would have been a good Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, yep. I haven't seen the new Captain America with Harrison Ford, but I heard that it wasn't really all that great either. Have you seen it
No,
with
I
the
did not.
Red Hulk?
And I kind of feel like I've got Marvel fatigue is the best way to describe it. There's been just too many of them,
Yeah,
and
I did watch recently. I think it was called Craven the Hunter.
uh,
It wasn't too bad. I guess it was
and
supposed to be a part of the Spider-Man universe, but I don't know much about the characters to know one way or the other. But it was pretty good.
there's a couple still that I haven't watched. Like, I didn't see the second Thor movie.
I hated that
Still,
one.
I didn't care for the first one, and
Uh,
I was never real big on Thor anyway because I love. Someone asked the question one time. They said, "If Thor is a god, what the hell do you need the other 15 Avengers for?" Um,
I never liked Thor back in the day of the Hulk movies on TV.
yeah, yeah. that was pretty cheesy. But yeah, I didn't watch the second Thor. I didn't watch Black Panther because, and I hear it's good. People say it's good, but I said I was jaded because my introduction to Black Panther, and I think even before he had his own movie, was Civil War, and he was such a dick. I didn't really want to watch his movie,
Yeah.
and then two, I said, getting political again. He's an isolationist, right? He hides his kingdom from the rest of the world, keeps to himself, won't share nothing. Won't, yeah. Um, then, yeah, I haven't seen this new Captain America. I never saw the second Amazing Spider-Man because I thought the first one was so bad, and the Lizard could have been such a cool character. I just didn't
Oh,
like that Andrew Garfield.
oh, I liked him as
Mhm.
Spider-Man. Did you
I
see
like
the
I like
Homecoming one
Tobey
with all three of
Maguire
them?
for the most
Yeah,
part. Yeah, I
yeah,
did like it when all three of them were together.
yeah. That was good. Did you like the last Doctor Strange movie, or have you seen that one? The one that
The
Sam Raimi directed?
Multiverse of Madness, or yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It was a little far out. It was kind of Evil Dead meets Doctor Strange
yeah.
uh, vibes to it, but no, I enjoyed it. I do like the character Doctor Strange, and I like Cumberbatch real well. So,
Yeah. Patrick's asked if we've seen Terrifier 3.
me and Autumn saw it at the theater.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've of the Terrifier movies, it's my least favorite one. I really
It
like
was
2, and I like 1, of course. Yeah, I didn't care. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't as good as I thought some of the other ones were.
I'd put it as actually I think my favorite.
Oh,
I wasn't real keen on the first two.
yeah. I would say I would probably rank them. Well, I guess the order they came out 1, 2, and 3. I thought 2 was good. It was a little long. It kind of dragged there for a little while, but I liked it better than 3. Patrick, have you seen Terrifier 3?
Um,
I heard they were making 5, but then I heard they were only going to make one more. So I don't know what's true.
Talking about
Uh,
other movies. I mean, this ain't horror or anything, but Abby and the girls went to see the new Snow White.
Snow White,
Yeah,
did they like it?
they did.
Okay.
Um, and it certainly felt like one of those movies that everybody just decided they hated before it even came out.
Yeah.
Uh, but
My
then we
daughter's a
were,
massive Snow White fan, and I think she's been one of those people that's been jaded because of all the talk, but I don't know. She said you just wait till it came out on Disney to watch it
well,
there.
and that's what I was talking to Abby about. You know, they're talking about it not performing well in the theater, and I said I feel like for theatrical releases, Disney has shot themselves in the foot with Disney Plus because they come out
Okay.
to Disney Plus so fast. You can say I ain't gonna bother watching it in the theater. Uh,
Yeah.
so
And I feel like people are
and
just getting tired of them doing live action movies of some of these classics too.
yeah, Abby said that too. I mean, she liked it, but she read an article that said that the live action remake of Tangled has been put on hold because of Snow White not doing well. And Abby said, you know, even at that, why don't we save this live action stuff for like the old classics and not the ones that were made in the last, 15, 20 years like Tangled?
Yeah. Although they are making it's not Disney, but it's DreamWorks, but they're making the How to Train Your Dragon movie. I'm looking forward to that myself. I like that movie.
Yeah.
I think
I
Gerard
don't know.
Butler's going to be in that one as the Viking dad. He was the voice in the animated version.
The other thing too that I hate about the movies now too is if it isn't an overnight sensation that makes $1 billion, they call it a failure.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be if it made a little more than it cost, they considered it successful. But now, if it's not record breaking, it's a failure. So
Last one I saw in theaters was Deadpool and Wolverine. I haven't been to the theater since then. That was a good one to see, though. I saw it twice.
that was fun. Uh,
Yeah,
Me and Sam went to see that, and then the girls have watched it several times on Disney Plus.
yeah,
And I just took my mom. Of course, our local theater. That's the other thing too that Abby said. One reason it may not be doing well is Snow White. It's a kids movie. Do you really want to take a family with 2 kids to AMC and pay $80 to get in, and everybody have one small Coke?
yeah. It's ridiculous.
Our local theater, it's like $5 to get in, and you can get your popcorn bucket filled for $3, and it's reasonable.
Yeah.
So I took my mom the other day, and we went and saw The Working Man, the new Jason Statham. That's like every other Jason Statham movie, but still fun.
Yeah.
She really liked The Beekeeper, and this was The Beekeeper 2, but he has a different job as. But I guess they're making Beekeeper 2.
Yeah. I never saw the first one.
It was good. It was fun. And
I think the last Jason Statham movie I saw was maybe one of the Expendables movies.
so we went to see that. And heck, I think me and Abby went and seen something here recently. I don't even know.
Did you go see
But
Beetlejuice together?
we did.
Yeah.
And, I got her the 4K of it for Christmas.
I didn't care much for it. Did you like it?
It's not as good as the first one, for
No.
sure.
I mean, it was
I
cool
felt
seeing
like,
Michael Keaton again, but I felt like it didn't really focus a lot on him.
I felt like there was too many things going on,
Yeah.
and I felt like Willem Dafoe's character was not needed at all.
Oh,
Um,
the janitor
yeah,
guy? Yeah.
yeah, no, he was the cop.
Oh, yeah. No, there was a janitor guy, but it wasn't wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
Danny DeVito was the janitor that
Yeah. Yeah.
got soul sucked. Um,
If
so
I
I
lose
think
you, my phone's about ready to die. So
okay.
even though I charged it.
I think if you'd have took out a couple of subplots, it might have been a little better.
Yeah, they didn't really focus a lot on his ex-wife. I mean, she was kind of like I thought going to be the setup for the movie, but it didn't really show a lot of her until the very end.
She just kind of showed up from time to time and killed somebody,
Yeah.
and she was almost like one of the sandworms.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then help me remember the ending. Did a
I, I
sandworm? Did a sandworm take her down?
I vaguely remember the ending. I've only seen it the one time, and I haven't rewatched it since.
Yeah, I forget. I know Abby's watched it a couple times, but I haven't watched it all the way through again with her.
I don't know,
Um,
but I'll be right back. Got to take a bio break.
oh, okay. Yeah, looks like I'm on my own. Is it just you and me, Patrick, or is there anybody else out there? Or do you have a new question you want me to talk about? How you been? You been doing okay? I still talk to Dave pretty regularly. Send stuff to the other guys on occasion, but don't talk to or hear from a lot of anybody anymore. Just always too busy working, it seems. Good. Glad to hear. Yeah, we need to get on a little bit more. I was thinking about, there's an upcoming weekend. I'd have to look at the calendar again, but Abby's going away on one of her scrapbook retreats. So I thought I'd get a hold of the guys well ahead of time and see if we wanted to do a full coast to coast stream. So maybe sometime in the next month or so, we can get something like that arranged. We're probably not going to have access to Mark anymore. And I don't know if we can get John on, but we can try. We can at least do the Midwest through the West Coast. So what do we got? We got 5 people watching.
Maybe we can get Phil.
There you go. I said Phil and maybe get Ben on.
Made to
I
pay
haven't
some
talked
tariffs
to.
for Phil.
I haven't. I haven't. Well, we've had Phil on since we've had Ben on. I think. Like you, me, and Phil.
Yeah.
Did Ben get on that night? He didn't,
I
did he?
think Ben got on there. It was around Halloween time because I couldn't join because I was at a party, and I think
Yeah.
Phil may have
Okay.
signed off, and then I came
Maybe,
on.
maybe it was me and Ben. Hell, I don't remember. I can't remember anything anymore.
It was you, Phil, and Ben, and then Phil
Okay.
dropped off early. Then I came on for a little while until my phone died.
Patrick, I was really tempted to go get tacos before this. I did that on occasion before. I'm in the process, though. I'm happy to report. I went to the doctor yesterday. She'd been after me to lose some weight, but since October, I'm down 36 pounds.
Good.
So,
Are
but
you doing that Atkins diet thing again, or
no, I'm just eating less in general. I'm trying to eat a little better, and working so damn much makes it easy. It's hard to eat and fit it in. The weekends is where I have my difficulties. But somebody at
I
work
think
said, "Oh, go ahead."
I was gonna say I think working remotely is what made me lose my weight because I wasn't eating fast food every day.
Well, so I was going. We have a Subway near work that we go to, and then a sandwich shop, and I was going to one of them quite a bit. I haven't been since before Christmas. And I've just been taking my lunch, and it's either leftovers or maybe I just eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or I got tuna there at work, mix a little mayonnaise, make a little tuna salad.
Yeah,
Maybe have one piece of bread with it. And then for a morning or an afternoon snack, I'm either got a banana or an apple or a yogurt. Um, and yeah, just eating less in general. But somebody said, hey, you look like you've lost some weight. How much have you lost? I said, well, I've lost about 36. I said, I'm down to 312. And I said, now to have lost that much weight and still be this goddamn fat is slightly discouraging, but maybe I'll get there. I'm trying to keep the goals um, small. So my next goal is just hit 300 and feel like I can get there. So, in fact, it was good enough with the doctor that instead of seeing me, she usually saw me every 6 months before so that we could meet. She chewed on me to lose a little bit of weight. And, she talked to me about my blood pressure. And last time she wanted to see me in 3 months because I think she wanted to kind of hold my feet to the fire and make me accountable. So since I lost a bit, she just wants to see me in 6 months again. So let's see how good I can do in 6 months.
well, at least hope you can maintain.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I think a big thing is, like you said, not eating out so much, eat out a little bit, but then two girls going into college. I'm going to be eating air, I think, probably come this fall.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hopefully once it gets warm again, you can get out and tinker in the garage and
Yeah.
do all that stuff.
That stuff, and we've been walking on days where it's not really cold here. We go on walks, and we'll get the bikes out again as it gets a little warmer.
Yep.
It's all good. So
Well, I'm down to like less than 10% on my battery, so I'm gonna probably
yeah,
have
okay.
to call it a night.
Yeah, I'll sign off as well. I hate doing these solo. So thanks for getting on, though. It was good talking to you. I hadn't
Yeah.
chatted with you in a while, other than just texts and shit. So
Well, if you want to do it again soon, let me know. Be more than happy
okay,
to.
I'll let you know. So take care and have a good night. Anyone left in the chat, Patrick, thanks for coming in. We'll see you later.
Yeah, I think I saw Casey at one point too.
Yeah, I seen him say hi early on. He'd been kind of quiet since. It says there's 6 watching, but I don't know who they are.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll get Patrick on next time. All right. Well, have a good night. Go
Yep, you
charge your
too.
phones.
All right.
See you.
See ya.